Coming up on this week's episode, we catch up with senior thespian Luke Bucaro to talk about competitive theater. We learn how to find scholarship opportunities, and we recap professional sports. We will also hear about the background of Black History Month. We'll get a sneak peek of the weekend's weather. Stick around to find out more. Good morning, Huntley High School. Today is Friday, February 19th, 2021. I'm Andrew Berkey, and welcome back to another episode of Raider Nation News. Let's jump right into our first story. Congratulations to the Harmony Yearbook for receiving first place from the American Scholastic Press Association for the 2020 yearbook On the Bright Side. If you have yet to pick up your 2019-2020 yearbook, the Harmony Yearbook staff will be hosting a second round of distribution next week, Tuesday, February 23rd, through Thursday, February 25th from 3:30 to 7 p.m. Visit the district website or the link in the description below for more information. If you are a senior, the time for submitting your senior quote and voting for senior superlatives has begun. Additionally, this year the Harmony Yearbook staff is starting a new tradition of Senior Sundays, featuring your baby photo and a current photo of you. Check your email or follow them on social media to access the Google form. The deadline is March 26th. For our world news story, RNN reporter Ben Burt explores why we celebrate Black History Month.
Each February, we celebrate Black History Month, where we learn and honor the accomplishments of Black people, both in the United States and abroad. First being officially recognized by President Gerald Ford in 1976 during the bicentennial celebration of the United States, President Ford urged Americans to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. In 1987, Black History Month was officially recognized in the United Kingdom and the Netherlands, followed by Germany in 1989, and then Canada in 1995. Most recently, Black History Month was recognized in Ireland in 2010. While it is celebrated through the month of February in the United States and Canada, in Europe it is celebrated in October. Celebrations often include exhibitions on Black history in museums and public spaces, speeches from national leaders, and meetings with civil rights leaders on how to improve the living conditions of Black people in their respective nations and continuing the fight for equality that began so many years ago. We celebrate Black History Month because it's an important occasion and helps us honor the diversity both here in America and across the world. Back to you in the studio.
It's interesting to see how this celebration began and how it's evolved to bring different countries together. Each year, thousands of dollars that go towards scholarships go unused. Here's Lauren Courtney with how you could earn some scholarships and where to find local and national scholarship opportunities.
Hi Raiders, my name is Lauren Courtney, and today I'm going to be giving you the who's, what's, where's, and how to find some scholarships, and who to contact and exactly where to look. So you're going to go to the district webpage, Huntley High School, and then click on the Students tab and scroll down to where it says Counseling Department. That will bring you to the Counseling Department's Haiku or Power School page. From there, on the left side, you'll go down and it will say College and Career. And in the left-hand side, there's a column labeled College. It says College Applications, Financial Aid, and Scholarships. This is where you're going to find all of the information you need to know. So where it says Local Scholarships, you'll click on that. So here you will find a spreadsheet that Mrs. Martins keeps up to date. She has the deadlines there, the maximum amount of prize award, the organization it's through, and this spreadsheet is a really good segue to find all of the information on each of these scholarships. Going back to the Power School page, in that college section that we were going through earlier, you'll see down right below where it says Local Scholarships, you'll find a bunch of links for search engines for scholarships. You're basically going to put in your information, and from there it will send out a huge list of national scholarships you will be able to enter. If you have any questions, you can contact Mrs. Martins. She has everything, like everything you need to know. That's all I have for now. Once again, if you have any questions at all whatsoever, contact Mrs. Martins. She can answer any of the questions that you have. Back to you.
Be sure to take a look at all of the scholarships available to you and contact Mrs. Martins with any questions. You may know this next interviewee from his previous roles under the PAC spotlights. However, these spotlights look a little different now, and senior Luke Bucaro is here to shed some light on how competition theater is adjusting during the pandemic.
So competition theater, it's kind of confusing. There's two different sides of it. So there's what we call comp theater, which is a 40-minute play. So you have to trim down a play to 40 minutes, and it's just a straight play. Just your normal average play, and you compete with it with other schools. And then, so that's one side of competition theater, and the other side is group interpretation. And group interpretation is kind of more like choral work, and you say a lot of the same lines together. It's almost like one uniform being. GI has to be 30 minutes long, but then comp theater, we just call it the drama aspect of it, has to be 40 minutes long. Practices so we rehearse Monday and Tuesday from 4:30 to 7, and then we rehearse Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 2:30 to 5. We switch off days. The set for Daniel Hand is this beautiful mural that our senior last year, Abigail Godek, she painted it, and she came up with ideas and everything, and she was so talented. And then for group interpretation, the set, as I said, has to be very uniform. It has to be painted very solid colors and stuff like that. It's a lot of movable blocks, and it's very symmetrical. Basically how it works is we film on March 16th, so in exactly a month. We film the show, and then we send that in, and that's our competition. Normally, in a normal year, we would go to the school for sectionals and compete, and then if we advance, go to state.
Best of luck to all thespians competing under these strange circumstances. We're glad you're still able to show off your talents. And now let's take a look on the day the sports world stopped.
The day is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. What seems to be a routine day of sports around the world is halted as the first ever athlete, Danielle Rugani of Juventus, has been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Some fans think, wow, he will be fine, it will pass, while others think this could be taking a dangerous turn. 3.5 hours later, the first positive case in the NBA was found. Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz tested positive, and 4 minutes later, the NBA suspended the season until further notice. This was only the beginning. Let's take a deep rewind on the day the sports world stopped. The next day, Thursday, March 12th, the onslaught of cancellations and postponements began. FIBA suspended all upcoming games, along with the ATP, International Tennis Federation, and Major League Soccer doing the same. Rudy Gobert's Jazz teammate Donovan Mitchell then tested positive, which led to a mandatory quarantine of the whole team. The college basketball postseason was right around the corner, and March Madness was still upon us. Or was it? Later that day, the Big Ten, AAC, SEC, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, and Big East canceled their remainder of the men's and women's basketball season. The rest of the collegiate seasons were later canceled as well. The whole day was postponement after postponement and positive test after positive test. The only good news sports fans were greeted with was this.
But then the question becomes, is there a protocol, frankly, with or without fans, in which we can resume play?
The next day, Friday, March 13th, a scramble for rescheduling began. The Boston Marathon was rescheduled from April 20th to September 14th. The London Marathon did the same. Formula One races were canceled along with the Augustana Golf Championships. The Olympic trials were postponed. This was the same day that President Donald Trump declared a national emergency. In the following days, all outlets to sports were being closed, including the NFL Hall of Fame, the National Baseball Hall of Fame, and Las Vegas casinos, where sports betting was taking place. The CDC then issued a statement saying all sporting events with more than 50 people should be postponed or canceled. In the coming days, the NFL draft would be held virtually, and all spring football practices would be canceled. This would lead to the postponement of the start of the MLB season, along with the postponement of off-season workouts in the NFL. As the weeks went on, the cancellations and postponements were detrimental to athletes and sports fans around the world. Over the coming months, fans would eagerly await the return of our beloved sports. As we see our own Raiders step back onto the court and field, we cannot wait for all sports to be back. This has been a deep rewind on the day the sports world stopped.
It's great to see professional sports being played yet again. And now let's take a look at this weekend's weather.
Hi Raiders, I'm Kylie Pomasak and I'll be your weather woman today. According to the National Weather Service, roughly 150 million Americans were under a winter storm warning, winter weather advisory, or ice storm warning that spanned across 25 states this past week, forcing some to go without power and heat. Luckily, things are starting to warm up in our area, but that does not mean you don't want to wear your winter jacket this weekend. Today's high is 18 degrees with a low of 2 this evening. Saturday, we have a high of 24 and low of 17. Expect some snow showers on Sunday with a high of 30 and low of 22. Though we are starting to see temperatures above freezing, it is still worth noting that your family should have an emergency survival kit. Stay warm, Raiders.
That wraps up this week's episode of Raider Nation News. To stay up to date with the latest news in Huntley, you can follow our social medias here or in the description of our newscast. We'll see you guys next week.